Welcome back. All right, so I'm doing something different today. So because I'm going to the Abbotsford Canucks game, it starts at 7 o'clock my time, which is 10 o'clock Eastern. I am going to review this game that I just watched. The other three games are on a different board. I will not get to watch the third period of Boston Buffalo, which is too bad because that's been great so far. And the Kings, Stars, and Oilers, Vegas. I'll be doing a review for those games when I get home. I'll have basically the stats on the board. We'll talk about what's happened, where they all are in the standings, all that other wonderful stuff. But first, San Jose and Toronto. And for the Sharks, they've done something no other team has ever done. They're now 4-0. They've beaten four Canadian teams to get to 4-0. It's never happened. You would think some point in the NHL's history it's happened. No, San Jose loves playing Canadian teams. Their flaw last year, they had to play only American teams. Apparently that's what it was. So it was Hill versus Hutchinson, a matchup that I don't think any of us saw coming. Fast back and forth start, and Hutchinson gets the start because tomorrow they're playing Pittsburgh, and they want Jack Campbell for that one, right? Spezza blocks a shot from Burns, and maybe in some way, it shows that teams are still not respecting the start for San Jose. That they'll put the back in here, and they'll put the starter in against a Pittsburgh team that's without Carter, Crosby, and Malkin. So, Spezza blocks a Burns shot. Hutchinson made early saves. LeBanc then blocks out a shot for Bunting. Tavares had a wraparound, wouldn't go. Hutchinson saves on Weatherby. Burns ends up hitting the side of the net. Good chances for both teams in the first half. The Leafs get a power play. Their power play committed today 3 for 14 on the season, and it doesn't really have the best of evenings. Shorthanded chance for Bonino. What's that? Oh, this game started an hour earlier because they're going through customs to go to Pittsburgh for tomorrow's game. So they asked the NHL to put this game an hour earlier, and the NHL said, yep, sure. So shorthanded chance for Bonino. Engvall couldn't bury one, and it's killed off. Couture out of the box. He fires one wide, so good chance for him right after he comes out. Hill then denies David Kampf. Bunting fires one high. The Leafs press. The Sharks then get a power play. Eklund and Dahlin were both on the second power play unit and playing well. Eklund, good game. Dahlin, that's going to come back to haunt Vancouver, isn't it? Gotta say, sometimes it just takes patience with young players. And I know with Dahlin it was a bad relationship between him and the Canucks, but man, that's going to come back to haunt him. If it hasn't already. Hutchinson covers after all of that ends. Goalie battle so far. Wasn't going to stay a goaltending battle, but it was. Second period, Matthews whistles one wide. Kerfoot to Kasha wouldn't go. Sandin had a shot that was saved. And then on a scramble play at the net, Couture scores from Vlasic at 2:31. Burns blocks a Riley shot. Hill was all over the place. There were saves, and then one of them goes in. It's Spezza from Simmons at 3:27. And then 17 seconds later, Timo Meier from not a great angle, and a goal that honestly, Hutchinson probably needs to save that one. So at 3:44, San Jose gets the lead again, and Toronto was chasing the game a lot. The Leafs did try to answer. Peterson then had a shot for the San Jose Sharks that goes wide. Leafs defense giving up the middle. I really thought, now while Hutchinson took a lot of flack in between periods from Craig Button, which is fine, but I thought the Leafs were just giving up way too much real estate down the middle at this point in the game too. Bunting had a stretch pass that was defended. Dahlin had a rush chance saved, and the Sharks press at the half. But then they turn it over, and it's a breakaway goal for Andre Kasha at 10:24, and he ran over Wes McCauley at the end of it. McCauley jumps right back up, showing he's just as tough as a lot of hockey players. He's not wearing the kind of equipment hockey players do. And Kasha runs him over, and he just gets up and laughs it off like, I'm Wes McCauley. What do you think? That ties up the game, but not for long. So this is the problem for Toronto tonight, was that they just were not able to get to a lead and get to a point of being in control of the game. Erik Karlsson from Middleton at 11:55, and it was Matthews trying to get it out of the zone that turns it over to Middleton, and Karlsson with a blast. He gets the goal. And this Karlsson jersey that I got for $10 from Dick's Sporting Goods, all of a sudden it looks pretty good. Like, Karlsson's living up to the contract through the first 4 games. It is early in the season, but so far so good. Balsers defends a Matthews chance. Net crashing by the Leafs. Hill makes the cover there. Simmons was denied. I thought he had a good game. I did. I thought Simmons had a pretty good game. And the Leafs were improving as the period went along. Bunting had a backhand that was saved, but we go to the third with San Jose ahead 3-2. Not for long. Dolan, remember? I mentioned that was coming back to haunt Vancouver. He scores from Couture and Meyer at 25 seconds. So yeah, this kid, he's pretty good. He scores for San Jose, and he puts them up by 2. Matthews then had time on an opportunity, couldn't put it in the net. And I always find it interesting that I know that people are going to talk about Marner and how he's not producing, but Matthews isn't either. I find the tunnel vision with Marner to be interesting. Marner didn't have a good game, but I thought Matthews, there are a couple there he could have, should have, maybe would have buried. And again, Aiden Hill played very well. Richie, his time on the first line seems to be done. So as this game went along, it became pretty obvious that Sheldon Keefe's putting the lines in the blender. I think Richie's time on that first line is over. Most Leaf fans will probably be quite happy about that. I think it really shows that the Leafs, their depth on that side is an issue, has been for at least 2 seasons now. Leafs get a power play. It was a strong power play, but again, Aiden Hill's all over the place making saves. I have been a vocal supporter of Hill from the beginning. Spezza was denied. Things get scrummy after the power play's done, and it produces 3 shots. Leafs press after the power play. We end up with a power play then for San Jose. There was a shorthanded chance for Marner that wouldn't go, so that was killed off. And then it's Tavares. And when I say it's Tavares, I mean it touched his arm. It's probably one of the weakest goals he's ever had, and that he really didn't have to do anything to get it. But you know what? They all count. That's his first official goal of the year from Nylander and Muzzin at 13:39. And it was on a rebound. So basically the Nylander blast was saved by Hill, but then it bounces off, and it ends up going in off Middleton's shin guard. So it's just one of those things that happens. So it's kind of an own goal for Middleton, but Tavares will take it as his first goal of the year. We'll see if they look at it and they go, actually, that didn't touch Tavares, and it becomes Nylander's goal later. It's been that kind of year for Tavares. Wouldn't necessarily surprise me. The Leafs then press for the tie. With 5:36 left, though, Jason Spezza goes to the penalty box. The Sharks get a power play. Ferraro has a shot that's saved. Couture had a shot that was saved. And the Sharks get 3 shots out of this, but more importantly, they get 2 minutes off the clock. We then get a post for Erik Karlsson on a 2-on-1. He looks skyward after that. Karlsson's statement that he still thinks he's one of the best players in the league is what gets him to this level and what keeps him there. I don't think ego is always a bad thing. So with 1:35 left, Toronto pulls the goaltender. Matthews was denied by Hill. With 1:18 left, the Leafs call a timeout. There was an empty net miss. And an icing by Cogliano. One of those ones where I thought, if you just take a couple of strides, get it out of your zone, and just kind of gently place it off the boards, you might kill more time. You may not get the empty netter, but take time off the clock. Well, the next time Cogliano gets it off that face-off, he gives it to Couture, and Couture doesn't make any mistake. At 19:20, he adds the empty netter to make it a 5-3 score. Toronto's comeback falls short. San Jose goes to 4-0. Toronto goes to 2-2-1, and now they got to play Pittsburgh tomorrow. San Jose moves on to Boston. So now San Jose's big test is going to be the next game, and we'll see against Boston exactly where they're at, right? But things look good right now. Shots were 11 apiece in the first, 12 each in the second, 10-8 in the third in favor of Toronto. They did outshoot San Jose 33-31. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 3, Toronto 0 for 2. Hits 23-10 for San Jose. Hill saves 30 out of 33, and Hutchinson saves 26 out of 30. That 31st shot was the empty net goal. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding this game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And remember, the review for the other 3 games will come up after I get home from the game tonight, but you don't have to wait for this one. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.